Hey there, shooters. Just wanted to introduce you to our Freedom Follower. Basically what the Freedom Follower is a follower that fits into your Magpul magazines, 30 round bodies, such as this and this. And basically what it does is it has a little mechanically actuated button here that when the follower tops out, basically that little button pops out and activates your magazine release for you and will drop your magazines. So what we're going to do through this video is show you how to set up your rifle properly for this function, and also how to set up the Magpul magazines for inserting the follower as well. Okay, so let's get right to it. This is basically how the Freedom Follower works. We had worked very hard to try to achieve full function of your rifle to allow this feature of auto-releasing magazines to happen. Basically, it's all about timing. The timing of the magazine following out, fighting the timing of actually catching the bolt catch, and everything working in conjunction is very critical for everything to work. So we've actually done a lot of engineering into the follower itself, where it actually contacts the bolt catch. Just to ensure that you do actually have bolt holdback on your last round. Now that function is also dependent on the timing of your rifle. So if you have a slow moving BCG, in most cases you will have auto releasing magazine, but you may not have bolt holdback. The quicker the BCG moves, the quicker you will get to bolt holdback on the last round. So I've tested this with piston rifles, adjustable gas blocks, carbine length, mid-length, rifle length, and they have all functioned properly, assuming that the buffer and the buffer spring are standard for the particular rifle that you're using. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go through the current modifications that need to happen on your rifle to get the system working and working properly. All right, so one of the other critical portions of getting Freedom Follower to function in your rifle is the actual bolt catch. And basically what we found out is by the time the BCG has contacted the bolt catch, it has locked itself in a position where this portion of the receiver or this portion of the bolt catch has actually touched the receiver. And what we found is that at that angle, the Freedom Follower button has actually not released itself yet. And we needed to actually top out all the way to release the magazine. So what we've done for you is we've actually filed some bolt catches to the proper angle to allow that to top out a little bit steeper by the time it touches the receiver, and that will allow the button to fully actuate and release the magazine. This is something that you can actually do yourself, or you can purchase the modified bolt catches from us. It's an approximate angle that we will show you through a graphic, but you can also, again, as I said, purchase them directly from us as we have done the work for you. So the final piece of the puzzle to allow for Freedom Follower to function in your rifle is our custom spec ambidextrous magazine release. While this looks like a standard mag release, it is, but it is custom spec to work specifically with our Freedom Follower. Once you have that installed with your modified bolt catch and your Freedom Follower magazine, then we should be ready to test it. All right, so now once you have your rifle equipped with our magazine catch and the bolt catch, these installed just like standard mil-spec parts, so there is no adjustment required, we can now test function of the Freedom Follower in your rifle. What I have here is a Freedom Follower equipped magazine and a dummy round. Now when you're loading it, basically all you need to do is push the button in and push the follower down, okay? And then you can load one round. That's only for the first round. The rest of them will load normally. And then what you can do now is go ahead and insert the magazine in, charge your rifle or drop the bolt, and we can go ahead and test function by pressing the action, okay? And there you go. Now, because I cannot simulate the speed of a fired BCG, we cannot simulate actual bolt holdback, but that will happen on the range when you're actually firing your rifle. All right, there you go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and equip your Magpul magazine with a Freedom Follower. And all you'll need to do this is a 1/4 inch chisel. Okay, make sure that it's sharp. A blunt force hammer. And also a piece of plywood that's about 1 inch wide and either 5/8 or 3/4 of an inch thick. 5/8 is ideal because that way it's not too tight when you're trying to insert the piece of plywood. And all you need to do is go ahead and insert it all the way to the top, like so. Make sure that it sits underneath the window, okay? Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and chisel this out. And all you need to do is chisel right at the line of the window. Ideally, you have this at a slight angle because you're also gonna have to clean up the hole in the inside just to make sure that there's no plastic burrs or anything that'll get hung up. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and hit it. Bust through. Okay, might have to hit it a couple of times just to ensure. All right, now we're gonna get the bottom of the window. Okay, and then the sides of the window. Again, the 1/4 inch makes it ideal because it's the exact size that you need to punch this out, okay? And then you can go ahead and pull out the magazine or the stick, and the hole is open for you. Now, again, as I said, once you've done that, basically you want to make sure that there's no plastic burrs on the inside here. So if you're going to file the inside of this, make sure that you file it at this angle to clean it up. We don't want to go straight down. We do not want to go like this because that'll actually change the shape of that hole, and we want to make sure that it actually will not affect how the magazine functions in your rifle. Now, basically, we're just going to take your Freedom Follower, insert it in the base of the magazine, go ahead and push the button so that you get it started. Take your spring and locking plate on the rear, go ahead and push and insert it. And you are now Freedom Follower equipped. Also, what you want to do for test for function is go ahead and push that button here and let that thing snap out. And if it does get hung up, like there, then what you're going to have to do is go ahead and sand in a little bit of the burrs there. Now, it'll also naturally start to take those things off. All right, but you're probably going to want to work it in a little bit. And ideally, the Freedom Follower actually works better with magazines that are a little bit worn in because the feed lips have opened up a little bit and everything moves in there a little bit easier. But again, just make sure that you get everything nice and clean on the inside of that button and just test its function here like this, and then go ahead and test it in your rifle. All right, and now you are set.